All right, are we ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead. Well, you asking me if I'm ready. You're the one that showed up late.
I was not late, Bobby.
You were late.
I was literally sitting here.
No,
waiting
you were literally
for you to
nothing.
Call me.
No, you were late, man.
How dare you, Bobby?
How dare you? You come late and then you give me a hard time.
I don't come late.
Yeah, you came late.
On time.
That's a
directly
lie.
on time.
You might have been sitting in that chair on time, but you were not here on time.
I was sitting looking at you on Skype thinking, why isn't he calling me? It's 1 minute past 2. Why isn't he calling me? And then I get a message saying, Lego!
Yeah, because you were late.
I was like, Bobby, I'm already here. And then you call me. And then you blame me for being late.
You were late.
I was not late, Bobby.
Oh, you're so full of it. Get on with it. People, you know what, man? You got me late now. I'm even later now because you're rambling.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I'm happy about that. This episode is brought to you by all of our patrons. To become a patron, head over to patreon.com/makeusbetter. This week's executive producers are Nick from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, James Johnson, Sheldon Benedict, Jesse Armstrong, Glauco Schaffer, David Ray, and Mike Drummy. Thank you so much.
You got zero energy, man. Zero energy.
What are you talking about,
That
Bobby?
is horrible, man. Reread that with some more energy.
Bobby, literally, no.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 17. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my best friend in all the land, Toby Thornton. What is up, Toby?
I'm wearing a jumper.
What is a jumper?
Sorry, a sweater. I'm wearing a sweater, Bobby.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
It's
Why
this
are you wearing
lovely,
a sweater?
like, mauvey sort of wine colour. It's lovely. Because it's a little bit chilly.
Lovely?
It's lovely. I've got some buttons on there. It's got a little fake grey shirt under it.
Lovely's a bit extreme. I don't know how we go to lovely.
How would you describe it, Bobby?
Corny?
Oh my! How dare you? How dare you, Bobby? Are you wearing a Blaster Master t-shirt?
Yes, I am.
I was literally just playing that before we came up.
Friend of the show, Django Snow on TeePublic. He
hooked you up, did he?
Huh?
Did he hook you up with it? Or?
No. But he I went over to a store and bought a whole bunch of shirts a couple weeks ago, and they arrived this week. I also got my shirts from Jules Watch'em, my Chicken Wiggle and my Mutant Mud shirt. Mm-hmm. Really, really cool.
I got my Chicken Wiggle shirt as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Represent, yo.
Exactly. I love Jules. So
yeah.
I want to get some more of those shirts. Got some. I don't want to get some coffee mugs too.
Yeah, me too.
I definitely, because dude, it's nice to, rather than putting like these stupid Disney mugs up every week. I'd rather.
You're literally drinking out of a tree right there, Bobby.
The size of my head, it's like a tree trunk, man.
Yeah,
it's huge. So
I don't know about the size of your head. I mean, your head's a little bit bigger than a tree trunk.
How dare you? How dare you? Let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs.
Geek Out!
Toby, what are you geeking out about?
This beauty. This thing right here. For our listeners, I'm holding up a European Super Nintendo Mini. Or Nintendo Classic Mini, as it says on the box.
The second best version in the world.
Our design is superior. It's the same as the Japanese design.
Yeah, the only thing that's superior about it is the color buttons. That's
got the lovely colourful buttons. Like the actual console design is lovely and smooth and rounded. Better. There's no like jagged. You're not going to cut yourself on it.
You ain't going to cut yourself with this either. Would you stop it?
It's a smooth.
It's not sharp.
It's beautiful. Your one looks like something like Robotron or something. This is like sleek. This is designed for the future, Bobby. Yours is.
Yeah, the future that's 20 years old, 25 years old.
And yeah, I don't know. The box just looks so much better.
Did you get any different games than we got?
No, I think the games are all the same.
You're the same, right? Because I got mine.
Did you get? I didn't get any sports games. Did you get a sport game? on it.
You guys didn't get soccer? I thought you got soccer.
No, we didn't get soccer.
I got Street Fighter. That's probably the only sports per se that would be on there, and Punch Out.
Yeah.
Super Punch Out.
Kirby's Dream Course. That's a sports game.
That's not really sports. That's garbage. So I'm giving one away, Toby.
Oh, I heard. I heard, Toby. I've entered.
Did you really?
I retweeted just to get the word out. I know.
Yeah. No, I retweeted from the Geek Guru because I have 700 followers over there, just to not to enter, but just to get it out there. But yeah, I like it, man. I was happy with it, man. I really am. So before we get into this, let's talk about our friend, shall we?
Oh, Mr. Capri.
Mr. Bitter Capri. Yeah, dude. Last night I was telling. He's like, I was like, we're hooking you up. So okay, let's tell people this story.
Yeah. Roll it back.
So essentially, what happened was when the United States, when North America, when the pre-orders weren't going up, Toby actually ordered 2 because he wanted to help me get one just in case we weren't able to get it. Just in case because we didn't know anything about pre-orders. Like, Europe got theirs right away, Japan got theirs right away, and here's, North America just sitting there with their thumbs up their bum, like, what's going on here? When are we going to get them? So, Toby, the good friend he is, he actually went and pre-ordered one for me as well. And then, so as time went on, I was like, he got it, and he was like, if you don't want it, I'll just cancel it. And I was like, no, I definitely want it, get it. So then, Sean, on Friday, starts texting me, and he's so full of piss and vinegar because he went to go order one from Walmart. It was in his cart, and it disappeared out of his cart, and he wasn't able to get it. And then he went to Walmart, and they were sold out, and then he went to EB Games, and they actually opened the store an hour earlier than normal, and by the time he got there, they already sold out. It was gone. Yeah. So he was just fired up, and I'm like, relax, like it's not the end of the world. And he's just like flipping, he's flipping stuff. He's mad.
He's raging.
He was just raging about it and totally bitter, and I'm like, just relax. So I told Toby, I said, you still got that one that you're gonna give me? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, why don't we send it to Sean instead? And you were like, yeah, absolutely. So he's like, he thinks that, like, because he's telling me no. I said, don't worry about it. Your friends are going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. He's like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? Like, don't tell me no. I can do what I want to do. And he's like, no, I don't want you to do it. I'm like, well, too bad. It's too late. So I had contacted Chelsea earlier that day and was like, can I have your address? And she's like, yeah, no problem. So she gave me the address, not realizing what I was going to do. And said, I gave you the address yesterday, and you're going to send it over. And then, so Sean's like, so last night I was talking to Sean. He's like, dude, I really don't want you to do it. It's going to be too much money to do this. And I'm like, don't worry about it. We're taking out of your Patreon money for the next couple of months. So don't sweat it. It's covered. And he's like, he's like, no, man, you can't do that. I'm like, sorry, it's already done, man. Like, we got to pay for shipping somehow. It's like $400 shipping. We got to cover it somehow. So, no, the split's gonna be 2 ways rather than 3. I'm sorry, and but I was just kidding. We're not gonna do that. But yeah, it was funny. But he's like, so he's going to get it whether he likes it or not. So if you're listening right now, Sean, it's Monday. By the time it should be up and you're listening to it, just deal with it, okay? Just stop the nonsense. Enjoy that you have 2 friends that care about you enough to go do this. Like, Toby didn't act this way when I sent him a gold Mario. You know what I mean? Like, you had no way of getting it. You were mad. You were upset. And I was like, okay. And I got you a gold Mario. I didn't act this way when you sent me the whole Yoshi. All them yarn Yoshi. You know, I wasn't like, no, don't do that. Like, this is what we do.
The whole point of this story is that this little community we've got going on, like, we try and help each other out where we can. And Nintendo is sort of bringing people together in that way. Like, they're not providing enough things, so people are on the hunt and helping each other find these things, So.
Yeah, I'm. That's the thing. Like, it was even that way during Amiibo. You know what I mean? When the Amiibo created, like, that's what the whole. I think that's what brought us all together in that Nintendo Guru group originally was because on Facebook because essentially, like, we were all looking out for each other and we're like, hey, I got this one, you got this one, hey, you want to trade? And like, we weren't scalping each other, we weren't trying to rip each other off and all that stuff. Like, it was just really good community and all that stuff. Like, it was a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff came out of all that. So I was going to geek out about the same thing, but I'm going to change it now. I'm geeking out now, and not that now, I've always been geeking out about it, but like this Friday, I felt I had one of my best Nintendo Talk episodes. Roger's Base was on, YouTuber, and that guy is pretty awesome. Like, pretty awesome. And I spent 2 hours with him. Normally those episodes are an hour, and just, it was a lot of fun, man. It was a great episode. He's friends with Josh Thomas in, for real. Like, they go on vacations and stuff together. So Josh showed up in the chat, and there's a lot of picking on Josh during it and stuff. Like, we're mocking Josh and stuff. Especially Roger. Roger likes to, like, twist a knife and, like, get Josh all torqued up. And you see just caps, like, exploding in the chat the whole time. But it was such a good episode. And I told Roger, I said, what scared me was I had a list. Typically when I bring someone on and I don't know that well, like, personally know that well. I know Roger because I watch his YouTube videos and stuff, but, like, I don't know him personally. I'll have, like, a list of things and questions that I want to discuss. And I blew through them really quick, and I started to panic. Because when I looked at the clock, I was like, man, we're only 30 minutes in, and I've gone through all my questions. I don't know what to talk about now. Because on the spot, with someone new, especially the first time, like the first time I was on with Josh Thomas, I got kind of starstruck. And I just didn't, I started freezing in my mind, and I couldn't think of stuff to say. And I was like, so I always prepare myself this. So when I went through with Roger, I started that same thing, like, I'm getting starstruck. Then all of a sudden, dude, he just takes control of the show and starts asking me stuff and, like, interacting, and, like, it was so good. And it went on for 2 hours. So I went from 30 minutes in, like, panicking to another hour and a half of just good stuff. So
that's awesome.
We played a little If We Ran Nintendo towards the end, which was really fun. Really, really fun, especially with him because, dude, the guy has ideas, like, really strong, solid ideas. And so we did.
Maybe you should just replace Sean then.
I'm thinking about that. Yeah. Like, if Roger can commit to, to full time, I definitely think that that's probably best interest of the show, honestly. Because, I mean, this week he was just like, let's bring Chelsea in. So, I mean, he's halfway out the door anyway. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so, yeah. Anyway, okay, so topics-wise, we're going to go on mine first this week. And yours second, because yours could take a little bit, and I don't know how long mine is. Mine might take a little bit too, but we'll see how it is.
Yeah.
All right, so this week, Nintendo has changed its policies for the YouTube Creators Program and has stopped allowing the streaming of video games. Essentially, if you stream video games, they will not pay you the money for that.
Now, does that mean just for that particular stream, or does that mean they stop paying you for everything on your YouTube channel?
Just for that game. I'm assuming it means for that game.
Right. Like,
for that stream. So, when they will not pay you for streaming anymore. They were paying us for streaming. I'll let you go first. Like, what's your opinion on it? You tell me, and then we'll go from there with me.
Yeah, I feel that obviously it's Nintendo's right to say yes or no to anything that includes their, like, use of their games in any sort of capacity like that. And, you sign up to their program and you play by their rules. So it's not like people should be complaining about it on that side of it. But I do feel that stopping any sort of revenue from it, it's not really helping anyone either. It's not helping Nintendo, and it's not helping the creators that want to express their love for these games and show off these games. Yeah. So in a way, like, Nintendo is shooting themselves in the foot about it, because people aren't going to be streaming their games because there's no incentive to do it.
Yep.
and Nintendo's not going to get any free coverage from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a bit like they're being a little bit tight-fisted. Like Nintendo have always been very in control of their IP and everything, but I think they do take it a bit too far sometimes, and people that rely on their income from this sort of thing, it's not good for them. So they'll end up going elsewhere. But then these days there are a lot of people that stream and do YouTube videos that are on Patreon now, just like us, and they don't necessarily have to rely on things like ad revenue as much anymore. Twitch, if you stream on Twitch, people can subscribe to you on Twitch and you get money that way as well. So, it swings and roundabouts, really, I think.
Yeah. So let me start off before we even move forward. I'll tell you before I get into my opinion, I left.
Yeah.
I left them yesterday. I didn't leave because of the. That's the one thing I wanted to express. I didn't leave because of this. I don't agree with this at all. I think that, like, let's call it what it is. Thank you, PewDiePie. That's what this boils down to. This boils down to Nintendo is worried about their game being associated with someone making a lewd comment or a racist comment, and then next thing you know, they're in the focus and they're in the fire and they don't want to be. And that's not something they signed up for. So what I don't think that Nintendo understands is the way of Let's Plays is kind of done. People rarely go and just watch people play. And okay, let me preface that, because that's not really necessarily true. I think more people enjoy live streams than they do watching a canned production.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Yeah. People definitely, streaming's sort of taking over in that sense.
Yeah.
And even like big gaming channels like Game Grumps, they are branching out into a lot of different other things now.
Yeah.
Because their ad revenue is being squeezed so much. So yeah.
Because what happens is with streaming, you can do things like tips and different little things, like YouTube has super chat and all that, where you get revenue coming in different ways. I am just like, whatever. You guys do whatever you want to do. It's bad enough you already told me what games I can actually record and play and which ones I can't, and so it's like the control factor is just, it is what it is. Like, there's your ball. You take it. You have fun with it. I'm going to go this way for a while, and I'm going to try things my way for a while. And they had my entire channel. So everything I did, this podcast has zero Nintendo stuff in it, other than a 10-minute or a 10-second trailer or intro in the beginning and some music occasionally. But otherwise, it's fine. Rather than the 3-minute, 4-minute song at the end, I'll cut it down to 10, 15 seconds at the very end and be done with it. It is what it is, or I'll put something else in. I'll go find stuff from like OC Remix or people that are doing Nintendo music that I don't need to like kiss their butt in order to make it work. And I just feel like Nintendo, it's same old Nintendo, man. They do good one way, and then they drop the ball someplace else. And what it tells me is this: we are not getting streaming on our Switches. There was talk about it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
it's not happening now because ultimately
any gameplay recording, I don't think it's going to happen.
You might be able to get to record it, but where are you going to save it to? So streaming, I think, is out the door. It's not going to happen now. I don't think that it's going to happen. There was talks in the beginning because Nintendo was talking about it. There was even talks that like it's kind of built into Switch in betas. Like there's beta versions of Twitch and stuff coming. So I just think that like it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So for me, I'm just like, whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. Like, I'm just going to keep doing my thing. Because, when I talked to Tony about it, because she messaged me on Friday, and she's like, how is this going to affect you? And I'm like, well, okay, I might lose some of my $7 they gave me last month. You know what I mean? Like, big deal. Who cares? Like, I'm not setting the world on fire, so I don't care. Like, I utilize
$7, Bobby, is you work so hard and put up so much content for this channel, and you get $7.
That's what I got last month.
It's pathetic. It's less than minimum wage, Bobby.
But that's the thing, and that's what I said to Tony. I'm not doing this for money.
No.
I'm doing this for my love of this, the fun, and the community that it's helping me grow. Because streaming helps me grow my community. Streaming, like the people that show up every time I stream and hang out with me and play, and like it never fails. Every time I stream Splatoon 2 or something, someone new shows up in the stream and asks to play with me, and then I'll add them, and next thing I know, they're showing up to all my streams. And so for me, that's more valuable than the couple of dollars they do. And by the way, I said to Tony last night, I said, I got $3 in tips last night, like people like donated to me. I made in 1 hour stream, I made half of what Nintendo's paying me for the month. So I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. Again, the money has zero issue for me to do that. Like, there's no, I stream because I enjoy it. I now have to stream because of we hit the next level. I have to stream at least once a week because that was part of my deal. And it's not that I have to. I enjoy doing it. I started doing it because out of love of it. Now, like Sean says, I've been giving it away for free for the last 2 months. So he's like, so now it's like, he's always yelling at me, why are you doing stuff for free? Because when it's time to like add up, I'm like, I can't do that because I'm already doing it. I can't do that because I'm already doing it. And he's like, why do you do this stuff for free all the time? But whatever. I do it for love. I do it as, I don't want to say trendsetter because that sounds wrong. That's not what it is. I'm trying to set the pace, the tempo. I feel like I'm trying to be the tempo setter for not only you, me, and Sean, or you, Sean, and I, but for all the people in the indie podcast group. Like, I feel like if I can do this, if I can keep pushing forward and pushing content out, then we all can. And then what happens is we all grow. The community continues to grow. The fans get a lot of content from other places, not just us, and we all start to continue to grow as a community. That's
you are like the village elder, Bobby. You are the ancient, crusty old guy that everyone looks up to,
But you're such a jerk. But for me, it's like lead by example. You know what I mean? So I look at it like, this is my true, honest thing. I figure if I push content out as much as I do, nobody can ever look at themselves and go, I don't have time. I can't do this. You know what I mean? Because if I'm doing it, I work a full-time job, and then I do videos 5 days a week. Plus, I stream on the weekends. There's no reason why other people can't do it. And essentially, Mark Carabin said, like, that was kind of what he looked at for me. Like, he looked at himself and he's like, why can't I do this? If Bobby's doing it, why can't I do it? And that's what I want. I want more people to be like that, to be like, hey, if he's doing it, if this idiot's doing it, why can't I do it? I'm better than him. I can do better than it. So I want people to show me you're better than me and come at me, bro. Let's see what you guys got. You know, like that type of thing. But essentially, the winner is the community. The community wins because they get more content and they get to have a good time. So that's where we're at. But anyway, to answer the question, I disagree completely with what Nintendo's doing. I feel like they're just they take one step forward and 2 steps back, and this is another 2 step back, big time. You know what I mean? Because like you say, it only hurts themselves. You know how many streams of Zelda are out there?
Yeah. Like
people playing Breath of the Wild and showing it off, and not spoiler fashion, just people playing and streaming the game and having a great time. Dude, you're gonna slap those people down, really?
Yeah, the thing is though, it's not necessarily going to mean that nobody streams Nintendo games anymore. It's just
paid for it.
Yeah, people on the creators program aren't going to be doing it.
Well, but here's the thing, Toby. People aren't going to get paid for it now, which means less people are going to stream Nintendo. So I can do it, right? But Nintendo's going to copyright claim that stream and take it for themselves. That's where I have the issue. That's where I have the problem. If you don't want people to do it, then you should not take money yourself. Don't take money from what I'm doing and then go, nope, we're going to keep it for ourselves. You can't have any of it. So you're going to, it's like in the United States, the tobacco industry. You know what I mean? Like, so the government tells you, no, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, you can't smoke. But then, meanwhile, they're taxing the hell out of it. And they're making all this money off of it. And it's like, really? Like, if you don't want anybody, then, you know what? Raise the cost of cigarettes, but don't take a whole boatload of money off of it. And it's the same thing. Like, it's, you're telling people, no, we're not going to pay you for it, but by the way, we're going to take all the revenue off of it. It's like that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, so you want to take everything. I'm the one working. Like, yeah, it's your game and you put the game out. You got paid for that game. I paid you for that game. It's the age-old thing. And I've been in Nintendo's corner with this the whole time. But I'm starting to deviate because I'm starting to look at it and go, like, this is kind of a slap in the face of your fans.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm busting my butt for you and you're giving me $7. Because, essentially, here's the thing. The way it works out is there's a 70-30 split between me and Google, right? Then Nintendo takes that 70 and goes, okay, Bobby, we're going to split it 60-40 between me and you.
Yeah.
So I'm already making less money because you're taking my portion and breaking it up and splitting and giving me what you want to give me. And by the way, I'm giving you any money that I get off of if we ran Nintendo, the Nintendo PlayStation podcast, when I had the hosts, all these different things. Like, you're getting all that money as well. So I was just like, you know what? I thought about it. I was like, again, not about the money at all. I'm not making anything at all. But I just look at it like...
It's the principle.
Yeah, it's the principle because I'm looking at the bigger... When I was talking to Roger said... He made a very valid point. He said, the ones that are going to get hurt, it's not me. It's not him. It's the 5,000 to 10,000 range. The ones that are just starting to get momentum and they're starting to see some money starting to come in and it's making them excited and to push harder and do more. And now all of a sudden, what they've known for the last 6 months to a year is gone. And now they got to pivot and try to figure out how it's going to work and what they're going to do. That's who I feel bad for. Those are the guys I feel bad for because they're the ones that are going to really take a beating now and really get hurt by this. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway... you have anything to add, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
We said everything we can say about that.
Oh, I'm sure there's more I could say, but I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, Bobby.
You know me. You know
but I'm done.
Don't be... Go ahead.
All right. So, so my topic is based on the SNES Classic that's just come out with the 21 built-in games. And the excitement about that has got me excited about the potential for a PlayStation 1 mini classic with built-in games. So I asked Bobby if he would like to come up with 5 games for the list, and I would come up with 5 games for the list. And if people like it, then we'll add another 10 next week, and we'll have a collection of 20 games that could be on the PlayStation 1 Classic.
Okay.
Okay.
I just think I think that you understand and you have an acknowledgement that Sony would do this. They would steal a Nintendo idea.
Well, it's not like they haven't done it in the past. I mean,
it's not really a Nintendo idea.
It's not really a Nintendo idea. You're right. There's been other ones before Nintendo, but yeah. So
okay, so
maybe they want to replicate Nintendo's success of it.
That's possible. That's possible. Yeah. So, okay, before we get into this, though, I want to say this. Like the N64, I think this is a mistake. If they do an N64 one, they do this one, I think it's a mistake because it's not going to hold up. And it's not going to be as great in people's minds as people think. I
disagree completely.
Oh, no. Polygons are horrible, bro. Polygons are really, really hard on the eyes. So
Bobby, there are some games that came out that had great artistic vision and game design that stand the test of time.
You are on drugs. Yeah, None during that time.
No, right? I get it with games like the original Resident Evil. That game is very bright and colourful and does not look anywhere near as good today.
Yeah.
But then the second and third games in that series looked much better, and they still look good. So
I don't know what much better.
I'm just saying.
Is. Much better is not
much
very
better,
good.
Boy. Much better. Teasing me.
All right, so we're only doing 5. I have a list of like 20 games here.
Yeah, we'll
No,
save them
I don't
for
have
next
20 games.
week.
I have 12 games just in case we overlapped a little bit. But
Well, I've only got 5, but I've got intimate knowledge in my brain. I can just
that's
pluck out
because you're a
again.
Sony fanboy. I'm not, so it is what it is. um, okay, so you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
I'll go first. So my first game is the original Medal of Honor.
Okay, I don't have
So
that trash on there, so go ahead. Okay,
it's not trash, Bobby. This game, right? I love this game. It was sort of my first. Well, not really my first. It was So Saving Private Ryan was big back then, and Medal of Honor is sort of there. I'm not sure what came first actually. I assume Saving Private Ryan came first, but I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But like anyway, set in World War II, and you play a lone soldier who's on a mission. You get sent on missions into Germany and France and everything, and you've got to go around. The controls were whiff, right? Because they hadn't figured out how to do first-person shooters yet with the 2 sticks. You had 2 sticks, but they hadn't figured out the controls yet. So the controls, when you play it today, it's a little bit. But I think once you get used to it, it's still very, very fun. And I don't know, it's really sort of dark and gritty. And the missions were very, very cool and interesting. You had these FMVs of like real life war footage, and it had a lot of history to it and respect for it. Call of Duty World War II is coming out, and I think people are going to love it because it's going back to that era. And this was sort of the game that kickstarted all of these World War II games, and it's fantastic.
I think you went on a little too long for that game.
I love this game, Bobby.
Rein it in. We don't have all day with this nonsense.
You're so mean.
I got good games, all right? You go with that nonsense Medal of Honor stuff. And I'm sure there are people flipping out right now because they love it. I'm sure Nick from Next Level Games like, that's a great game, man. I'll hear it the next time I go in the store. He'll be yelling at me. I have a great game. Metal Gear Solid. Okay.
Yeah, that is a great game. That's
a great
probably
game. Seriously.
the greatest game on the PlayStation 1.
Definitely one of the best. Easily, hands down. And for me, what I loved about it is I was a fan of the original Metal Gear on the NES, the one that Kojima hates and can't stand. I love that game. And so when I played this one, I was like, wow, man, they just really totally reimagined what Metal Gear is and made it like this it was like the first time they did like 3D world and all this stuff. And like the coolest thing was, and everybody knows about it, like when you're playing Psycho Mantis and you have to put your memory card in the second, or no, you put your controller in the second port.
Yeah.
Because he can read everything and he's reading your moves, so you can't do anything. But the cool thing is like, they didn't tell people that. You had to figure that out on your own. You know what I mean? And like to think that like, oh wait a minute, let me move this over. Like the other thing too that was really cool was he'd read your memory card. So if you had other Konami games on it, like Castlevania and stuff at the time, he would mock you for a little bit about that. And like you add that to the game, like it was really cool stuff, man. Really, really cool stuff. So that's my first game.
Absolutely agree with that, and I don't think anyone could ever deny that deserves to be on there.
That's why I am good for this show. I bring good games.
No, you bring the obvious choices.
I bring
more interesting.
People want obvious choices. They want to know that their favorite, the best games of all time are on this thing.
Bobby, I knew that you were going to pick all these.
I know because I told
picks.
You that one.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm bringing Driver 2.
I almost picked that one. Not because I played it, but because I know that was a very popular and big game for the PS1. So
yeah, Driver 1 and Driver 2. Out of the two, I think Driver 2 is probably just the better game overall. Yeah. They improved the graphics a little bit and the gameplay. I mean, some of the gameplay elements of the second game weren't as good because you could get out the car. They were trying to be a bit Grand Theft Auto-like. And your character looked rubbish when he was out of the car and he controlled weird. But like the rest of the story elements to Driver 2 was so good. It was like a Tarantino film. They had like cutscenes at the start of every mission, and it's just just driving through alleys, smashing through cardboard boxes, seeing all the paper fly up everywhere, chasing after a moving train, like action packed. And also Driver 2 had multiple cities, and you ended up in Havana, I think, and that was just like completely looked completely different to the city that you start in, and I don't know, it's just really really good game.
So the next game, right, that I have, I'm not gonna bring it. I was gonna bring it,
Oh,
and I'm not gonna bring it now
oh,
because here's my thinking. I'm gonna bring Final Fantasy IX. 7 is the obvious choice,
hmm
but with Final Fantasy 7 remake coming out,
hmm
why would people want to go back and play the original? I think that they would want to
Well,
play 9 because I think 9 is compared. Like, there's people that love 9 more than 7, and it's still a really solid game. So for me personally, I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, they're gonna have remake, so that would be the way I would if I'm Sony and I'm Square. That's the way I want to push people.
I suppose that's why Secret of Mana was left off. Was it left off? Or
Secret
no,
of
it's
Mana,
actually no,
no,
it's on, isn't it?
it's on, but it's on Nintendo.
Yeah,
But Nintendo's not getting the remake.
yeah, that's what I'm
So
getting confused with there. But
yeah,
yeah,
so I think that because of that, it'd be different if like Nintendo was getting the Final Fantasy VII remake and Sony wasn't. You know what I mean? Then I would be like,
yeah,
no, we're gonna put it on there. But because it's there, and I'm not saying any idea is like not like Sony's coming out this next year. Like even in the future, next couple of years, if they did this, to me it makes no sense to go that route. I think you go different to some degree because you want to push people to buy the
mhm.
updated version, not the whatever.
They literally re-released Final Fantasy IX the other day on PS4.
Not re-release. They just released it.
No, they've released it in like HD.
Oh, really?
They yeah, it's not like they've not like, redone any of the gameplay.
They
It's
just
just
upresed
that,
it.
yeah, upresed it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so.
That's the way I would
But
go.
I still agree that that deserves to be on there. I think 9 is just as good as 7.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a lot of people that feel that way. That's why I would put it. Plus,
yeah,
it's not the popular one. I would like to add something that's a little
yeah.
out of the realm of like everybody points to 7. It's like that's the one. But I would like to go a little different than that if we can. So
I mean, 8 is great as well.
that was,
But
but I you know what I wasn't really 8 actually pushed me away. 9 brought me back in, and then 10 just I was like yeah I'm out.
right, my next pick is the original Grand Theft Auto. Now, I could have picked Grand Theft Auto 2, and I could have picked Grand Theft Auto London.
Why am I not surprised?
But I feel like it's the very original Grand Theft Auto is the most classic,
You are a mess. You are a
and it
mess.
is so fun, Bobby.
Get off of Rockstar's Harry Beanbag for 5 seconds. All right?
Oh man. Did you see the Red Dead trailer, Bobby?
I did. We're not talking about Red Dead at the moment, but yeah, that
Oh,
was really good.
I want to talk about Red
We're
Dead.
not going to talk about it right now. We can talk about it in a second. But you're right. That is a really cool
Yeah.
trailer. But go ahead. So why would
But
you
like,
bring
yeah,
it?
the gameplay is just brilliant, and it's mental. You know, drive around the city, run people over. You get like entire football teams that are running around that you can just mow down because nobody likes them. But they had like loads of like really cool missions. There was this cool mission that really stands out to me in my memory of driving a bus, and they ripped off speed. Basically, you can't go below 50 miles an hour or you'll blow up. And it's like full of crazy things like that. And I think that people need to see the history of where Grand Theft Auto came from, because I think a lot of the kids today that play GTA, they don't know about the top-down ones. So I think that'd be a really cool.
Well, right now, what is it? Retro City Rampage or whatever?
Yeah, they're sort of.
That's basically a ripoff of what Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto was. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's what they look at that, but they don't realize where that came from. You know what I mean? My third game is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The only reason I picked
pick.
this one is because I never played it. I would want to play it, and I feel like that's the first game that introduces, when people say Metroidvania style, they basically, that's where the Vania comes in, because for years that blew me away, because I was like, why are you adding Castlevania to this? Metroid it should be just a Metroid game, because Castlevania went and swiped the ideas off of Metroid, where you start to power up and you can get into other areas that you couldn't get into previously. But this is the game that first did that for the Castlevania series. It was always just a side-scrolling, go ahead, move forward, like a beat 'em up type game, but you're using whips and stuff like that. This is the game that actually started to get power ups and go back and unlock different areas and stuff. So I would love to really get in and play this one. And this one, because it is pixel art, really holds up over time.
It does. Yeah. It does. Yeah, I agree. I'd be interested to figure out why people do say Metroidvania and not just Metroid-like or Castlevania-like.
I don't know. I think it was it Jeremy Parrish?
It was an IGN thing. Yeah. But I don't know. I think maybe they come up with that because it's sort of like you had PlayStation fans and you had Nintendo fans.
Yeah, possibly.
And it's like that covers both bases.
Yeah, so, it's possible. Yeah. It's possible.
Anyway, my next pick is Resident Evil 2, Bobby.
There's another shocker. No, I didn't going to pick that one.
Yeah, I picked that one because the very reasons I said at the start. The first one was a classic game, has a great story, and the gameplay is still pretty good. But I think 2, they sort of stepped it up, and the graphics were amazing. It took it out of the single mansion environment, and you had little areas of the city and stuff. And the story is actually really good in 2 as well. And they are remaking it, so I don't know if like your logic would be just go for Resident Evil 3 because they're remaking 2 and don't bother with it.
Well,
I don't know.
I just did that because I feel like that's a square way of like, because of what I look at what they would do with the SNES Classic. A little bit, you know what I mean? But I don't know. No, you're fine. You could, it's your list.
But it's great as well because you've got the 2 different characters that you play as, and the way you play the game as one character affects the other character when you go to do their playthrough. So, the game was different every time you played it based on which character you picked. So there'd be like certain weapons you could get that if you didn't pick them up, they'd be available in the next part of the game with the other character. So, yeah.
Okay, now we're moving into uncharted waters because I have the rest of my list, and now it's like a crapshoot. I'm going to give a game that I really enjoyed.
Bubsy 3D?
And I didn't know. And I didn't play a lot of it, but you're such an idiot. I didn't beat the game, but I liked it a lot, and I played a lot of it, and that's Parasite Eve.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I completely agree with this pick, Bobby.
Yeah, this was a good game. Like, it was kind of like, it's probably to that point, like, a kind of a scary game.
I would go for 2 over the first one.
Okay, but that's fine. I didn't play 2, so that's why I put this one on because I played this one. I played a decent amount. It was creepy, kind of quasi-scary and stuff, but it was a really, really good game. So I would definitely put Parasite Eve 1 or 2. Whatever.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation 1 has some great horror games, like a lot of different series: Resident Evil, Parasite Eve, Silent Hill.
I have that on my list as well. So
yeah, so I'd be tempted to put Silent Hill on, but I don't know if that's like too many horror games. Trying to have a broad selection of games here.
Yeah, exactly.
So my pick is Adventures of Alundra.
Okay.
And you know why I love this game. Basically, it's a sort of semi-Zelda clone.
Just because you like bad games, but good.
And it's really, really good, Bobby. It's a really good action RPG, and it's pixel art, and it's beautiful even today.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
That's all I need to say about it. It's a fantastic game.
I've got 2 that I would put on, but this is my last pick for this week. So I'm going to go with the one that my brother loved and the one my brother played a lot of, and that's Gran Turismo 2.
Oh, yes.
I
was hoping that you might come up with one of these.
Yeah, this one was, and I played a lot of this as well, but he loved this game. And, I played it for a little bit. I was like, I don't get it. I put it away. And then he really dove into it. And he was like, dude, you get to do all these test challenges. And he's like, started showing me all this stuff. I was like, man, this is actually pretty fun. And I started diving in and doing a lot of stuff. But he got really good at it. And so that's the one I would put on there.
Excellent pick, Bobby.
Thank you. And So that's it, right? That's all for...
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for this week on the list. If you guys like this, please reach out to us wherever you can reach out to us. Twitter, in our Facebook group, on Discord, wherever, and just be like, hey guys, keep the list going next week and finish off make it a top 20.
Yeah. Let us know your picks.
Yeah, let us know your picks too. Like, is there anything that we should have added that we didn't? So let us know. But okay, so let's do real quick. Hot off the presses. Did you bring stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got news stories.
Okay, so for me, the first story is we have new Splatfest approaching. Second one is Super Mario Odyssey release details. And the third one is Bethesda's celebration of the SNES Classic.
Ooh, I don't know what that last one is. We're not going number one because I don't want a certain somebody to be getting a big head about this.
Yeah, exactly. Sean Capri.
Yes, Sean Capri. Mm-hmm. I don't know. See, I want to know about the launch details of Mario, but I'm also a little bit media blackout. Are there spoilers in this story? No. All right, let's go number 2 then.
Okay, and all it is just something that is a reward or something that's coming for the United States. So, Super Mario Odyssey, for customers who pre-order Super Mario Odyssey at Best Buy, they are eligible to receive a $10 reward and a Super Mario Odyssey themed collectible coin. The coin is really cool. It's a gold color coin. It's got Cappy on the one side, and then it's got like the globe and stuff on the back side. So it's really, really cool. So I have the Breath of the Wild one. They came with my collector's edition. I am going to go out today to Best Buy and pre-order the game from Best Buy and cancel from Amazon.
That's pretty cool then that they're making a sort of series of it. Mm-hmm. Like since they did a Zelda coin.
Oh, dude, they've been doing coins for a long time. I have a Super Mario Galaxy coin as well. So, but the coins are just getting better now, like more quality. So that's what I like about them. And the world
solid gold.
The Nintendo, it's Nintendo New York, but it was Nintendo World Store. They actually been giving away coins for a while now, like during special events. But that's like, you gotta be on drugs to try to go to that thing. That's just getting up in there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What are your 3 stories?
All right, my stories. Number 1, Rockstar Classics. Number 2, Shenmue free dev trolls fans. Ooh. Or number 3, Shadow of War, Warner Brothers apologizes.
Oh, let's go number 3.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I want number 2.
All right.
I don't care about that stupid game. I want to hear about Shenmue.
I think it's quite important that people probably know about it though. Number 3. Yeah. So, if you remember, a little while ago, there was a Shenmue 3 first sort of gameplay trailer, and there was a bit of controversy. The fans were upset that there weren't really any facial animations going on. Everyone was a little stiff and plastic looking. Mm-hmm. So the other day, the developers put up a Kickstarter like backer video, and basically they show off some animations, some facial animations that they're working on. And I am absolutely 100% convinced that this is just them trolling the fans or the people that complained about it, because it's obvious they're going to be doing facial animations. Yeah. But in this video, there's like, they've got a character model of an old lady, and they're adjusting the sliders for the facial animations, and her face is going up and down, and her smile's getting weird and stuff. And one of the developers says, as you can see, we're implementing facial animations. This woman looks very scary, and like that's just them basically. I'm sure it's not them being serious. Like it's them saying, look, we've got facial animations, and we can make them look scary. If you want scary, and we can make scary. So I think it's still a bit of fun, but I think people were taking it a bit seriously.
Of course they were. Of course they were.
Yeah.
They act like, you know what? Sometimes the internet is the worst place in the world.
Yeah. It made me laugh though.
Oh, it's funny. It's good stuff, man. I like when like developers like fire back a little bit at the fans.
Yeah.
Just to be like, guys, relax. Like, come on, use your heads a little bit here. All right, so let's jump in real quick to what we're playing. I'm playing 3 games. I've been playing 3 games this week. Obviously, I've been playing more SteamWorld Dig 2 because I want to try to 100% that game. Game is, it's going to be hard to 100%. It's, man, it's rough.
Hey, Bobby.
Yes, Toby.
I have 100%ed the game.
No, you did not.
Well, I've not beat the game since I got everything, but I've got all the secrets.
No.
Yeah. But there's one more thing to do in it, and I'm not going to go into what that is, but I've not finished this last thing. I'll talk to you about it after, maybe.
You gotta be kidding me, man! All right, we gotta talk about that. That annoys me now. I've been trying to get. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the one game a little bit right now. Golf Story.
Ooh, Bobby, tell me about this game.
Dude, this game is really good, man.
Yeah,
really
I'm
good.
Excited.
It's a lot of fun, man. The art style is phenomenal. It's kind of cool. Like, you run around. Like, here's an example. You start off, apparently you're a kid, and you have this, your dad has this dream of you becoming this golf star and all that, and you wind up leaving your girlfriend as you get older, like 20 years later. I don't know what happens to your dad. They don't really talk about that unless it shows up later in the game, but your dad's not around at this point, and you're with a girlfriend. You kind of ditch her, and you move back home, and to your hometown, and you decide you're going to chase this dream that your dad had, and so you go to the first golf club or whatever you played as a kid, and nobody wants to help you. So you have to prove yourself, and you do these little tasks to build your levels up. Because you get experience based upon achieving tasks, so you start to level up based on the tasks you do. And,
so are these tasks like side quests, or
they're like little mini side quests? Like, it'll be like, hey, you go to the driving range, and it's like, we want you to put 3 balls on the green, and it's like a far out green, and it's like, and you get like 6 hits. So out of the 6, you got to hit 3 right on the green. Yeah. And it's like, so, and then it'll take you a few times, you know what I mean? But when you get it, it's like, but the nice thing is, like, the golf is like the golf you've played forever. Like Hot Shots Golf, Mario Golf. It's not difficult. It's not hard.
It looks super fun, like the gameplay mechanics.
Blast. I'm in one quest right now. It's a little tough. So I finished all the quests in the main golf club, and now I moved to a rival golf club. And I went over there, and so the idea is, they're like all cavemen and stuff in this place. So you go there, and it's all like this. They have this one golf course called the Wii Golf Course. It's like for little kids, and it's all par 3. And they want you to beat the course in 14 shots. There's 7 holes, so that means you got to get every one in 2 strokes or less.
Yeah.
And I can get like the first couple holes, like I get like holes in 1s, or I get it in 2 strokes. But when I get to like hole 4 and 5, I start to like struggle for some reason, and I'll do like triple bogeys and stuff. I'm like, and it ruined. And then I'm like, I can't do it. But it's a really good game, really good game. The third game I'm playing, FIFA 18, and
I noticed,
dude. I am not a soccer player.
Yeah,
I have never played soccer ever. I mean, I played soccer when I was in 7th grade, but like I've never been into it. I had, when the World Cup hit I think it was last year, I actually started to watch it a little bit. I was starting to get into it a little bit, maybe 2 years ago now. And so I've always had interest in it. And a guy I used to work with was big into football, or where you are, but soccer. Like, his favorite team was Arsenal. And so I would always talk to him. And I only knew Manchester United because that time when Brian was on the show and he was talking about Man U. So I actually started following Man U a little bit just because of that. So I would always talk to him about Man U and where they were in the ranks. I didn't know what I was talking about, but whatever. So yesterday, I played a couple of games, whatever. I created a player and all that stuff, and like just played like garbage, like just bad. So then I was like, what's this team management thing? So like I went into this mode where you can actually like manage the team, and like you're controlling the trades and all that stuff. Although they use different terms, so I'm still trying to learn all that. But I took Manchester United, and I entered this one tournament. I think it's the Crown tournament I entered, and I actually won the game 7-0.
Yeah, and Mushroom Cup.
What are you talking? Would you stop it? But the cool thing about it is what you start to learn all this different stuff, and it's like what I like about it is like as you're moving down the field, it's telling you with like little buttons like press A to do this or do this and this. Like it has the little things over your character just to give you a heads up. Like, hey, at this moment you can do these different things to help you. And I'm starting to learn how to center the ball and pass, and like, oh, it's just really, really good, man. And it looks so good, man. Like, I know that like not all the features are in this game. I get that.
It's 60 frames though, right?
Yeah, man, I love it. It's really, really good, man. I enjoy it, man. I was playing it yesterday, and I was like, this is really good. Sean was like, I have a feeling that that's all you're going to play. And I'm like, nah, man, I really like this game. Like, I want to go back and play more. So if you're thinking about getting FIFA, I say get it. You know what I mean? Like, I know it depends. Depends on what kind of mode you're into. I know it's a little light in terms of content. They did pull a couple things out, make some changes to it, but I love it, man. I think
I don't think it's light in content. I think they pulled out that weird story mode thing that they thrown in, but I think that's not really what football games are about. No. Like, it's really about just, it's a really good simulation of the sport. Yeah. You can still take part in leagues and cups, and you can still play. You can still play online with people or play locally. Like, I don't think you need much more than that.
I think everything's there except for that one mode, and I don't care about that mode, honestly. Like, I can care less about the story mode. Don't care at all.
Yeah, because they try and dramatize it and everything and make it like a TV show, and it's like, it's not.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But anyway, what anything you're playing?
So other than just, kicking your butt at Steam or Dig, not much really.
So rude. So rude. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching this week. If you watched on YouTube, if you listen to us on iTunes, Dayspace, Google Play. I think I also added us to Acast, and there was Stitcher. I got us put on Stitcher as well. So those will be coming. Acast and Stitcher should be coming very shortly. I think Acast we're already part of. Stitcher I added us to. Also, real quick plug. Go check out Planet Nintendo. It should be at this point when you're listening up on iTunes and all that stuff. It's a new podcast I'm doing with.
Is it on YouTube?
Yes, it is. It's not on my channel though. It's on Patrick's channel. It's Nintendo Talk. So you can go over there, check that out.
That's confusing.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. It was weird how we didn't copy each other. Like, I already had Nintendo Talk, and he actually changed his name from something else. And we met like 2 days after he changed his name. And it was just real ironic. Anyway, doesn't matter. But go check that out. It's kind of cool. It's a lot of fun. It's a different type of show. If you watch it on his YouTube channel, Fridays is the complete episode. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is breakout episodes. And they're broken up in about 15, 20-minute topics. So kind of like how Game Over Gray show is, where you get to, and then Friday gets to break out the whole thing. So go check that out. So that is all. Follow us, Instagram, Twitter. You're at Amiibo_workshop. Toby's _take.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I was going to say Amiibo_workshop on Instagram.
Whatever.
And Toby's _take on Twitter.
Good God. You're such a...
Hey, Mike Drummy is on Twitter now.
I saw that. He followed me.
Yeah, he followed me. I followed him about 12 years ago.
Yeah. He followed Sean, too. So that's pretty cool. Follow the show at NinPlay Podcast. Follow me at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Later, masturbators.
That saying is so bad. The only one that likes it is Nebby.
He loves it.
Yeah, apparently he does.